Crap. Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Wrestling Hub back again, and I got a rant about last night's show because man, we had some highs, we had some lows, and we had some straight up what was that moments. Let's break it all down. Buckle up because I got a lot to say. First off, they opened the show with John Cena versus Brock Lesnar, which is already wild. This felt like a straight beat down. Brock just manhandles Cena, superplexes, F5s. Cena tries to fight back, hits multiple AAs, but Brock hits 6 straight F5s to end it. 6, and then dude had the nerve to take out the referee after the match. Total destruction. I'll admit it was entertaining. I'm gonna say this, y'all. It was entertaining, but it was like, I feel like the match was just slow, bro. Like, and then look, that's the thing, y'all. John Cena was supposed to win. They decided to have Brock Lesnar win. Plus, we've seen this story, so it's like, and I feel like it could have been better. Like, the feud could have been better. Like, when Brock Lesnar seen that John Cena was not on SmackDown, he could have went to Raw. But no, they did the opposite. But yeah, that's all I got to say about that. On to the next, the Usos versus the division, Bronson and Bronson. This was pure chaos, and I loved it. LA Knight as a special referee. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I do feel like Jey Uso was right when I was watching the Raw at night. I feel like Jey Uso was right. The Usos would have won if LA Knight wasn't referee. Paul Heyman in the corner, tables, chairs, high spots, brawling. This match felt like old school Attitude Era energy. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed winning, keeping their momentum rolling, but man, the Usos losing clean kind of surprised me. Still match of the night. For me, easy 4-5. I'm gonna be honest, that match was 5 stars. Here was my thing with that match, though. With the Usos versus the Bronsons. It was, I don't know. It felt weird to me. Like, having LA Knight as the referee, I felt like that was stupid. I felt like they should have, had a regular referee. But, Triple H, triple fraud. Booking terrible always. Now, next on to the Women's World Champion versus Io Sky, Stephanie Vaquer. I'm actually glad that Stephanie Vaquer won the championship, which that gives me the next video to work on to ask who in the world she's gonna face next. But now this match, while this was wrestling cinematic, Io Sky and Stephanie went off German suplexes, dives, chain wrestling, high wrist spots. Stephanie Vaquer hit that spiral tap to win. The title was dope, and the tap to win the title was dope, and the post-match moment with respect, emotion, loved it. This was one of the highlights of the night for sure. I'm going to say something else with that. When Stephanie Vaquer did that doubles kiss thing, I like that when she did that to you guys. But yeah, I'm glad Stephanie Vaquer is champion, and I'm happy, and y'all gonna see in the next video what I mean by happy. Okay, but let's talk about the elephant in the room. Way too many commercials. It killed the flow. There were no big surprises, which for a PPV premium event, y'all, and I'm gonna tell you this. There's no way I should be into the show and had to go commercial, ad. In a premium event and on ESPN? Dude, there's no way. Why would you want to have commercials? Dude, ESPN, they gave Wrestlepalooza a C, which is mid. That means it's bad. It's a disaster. All that. Which, in my opinion, and don't even get me started on the ending. The ending was stupid, bro. There was no surprises. There was no heel turns. There was no heel turns. It's like, you could have had Randy Orton and Cody, which I'm going to get to that at the end of the video, the review of Wrestlepalooza. But this is terrible. Commercials? You going to have us watching man, every time I would go on the thing, I would be watching it, right? Commercial. Like, man, no one wants to watch commercials. Why are they trying to watch a premium event? The premium event should not have commercials or ads. Now, on the Punk and AJ Lee versus Rollins and Becky / the Undertaker segment. That should be it. But, yes, AJ Lee tapped out Becky. Yes, AJ Lee tapping out Becky with the Black Widow was sick. Crowd popped hard for that, but then Undertaker came out just to announce Stephanie McMahon going into the Hall of Fame. But don't get me wrong, that's cool, but it felt so random and slow. The showdown, and slowed the showdown before the beginning. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm glad AJ Lee got her chance to fight and stuff and all that. And I'm going to tell you what I think what AJ Lee should do next, but in the next video. But I like that. Congratulations to Stephanie McMahon for being in the Hall of Fame right now. By the way, why don't she just come back for wrestling and go for a retirement tour like everybody else is? She was a good wrestler, but plus AJ Lee versus Rollins, AJ Lee and Punk versus Rollins was long. That was a good match though. I ain't gonna lie. For a long match like that, you didn't know who was gonna win. But I'm glad AJ Lee and CM Punk won. Because I'm not a fan of Seth Rollins or Becky. Well, I ain't going to say I'm not a fan of Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. I am torn with their characters. I feel like their characters could be better. But, okay, now, y'all, the main event set up. Well, actually, hold on. Now let's get on to Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. Oh, my God. That match was slow. It was like sitting there and watching a movie, and it was slow, and it wasn't going that fast paced. None of that. Y'all gotta understand. When I watched Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre at Wrestlepalooza, there was no heel turn for Randy Orton. Randy Orton didn't even come in at the end. It was just a clean match. Now get this, y'all. Here's what this makes me so mad, because at the end of the day, it makes me so mad for what they did. Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre themselves, they wanted Randy Orton in that match. I mean, they wanted Randy Orton to for Randy Orton to turn heel and RKO Cody and all that, set that up, woo-de-woo. Why didn't Triple H book that? That would have been the best booking. You didn't have no surprises, dude. The only surprise you had, Undertaker, dude. Undertaker. Which, can't fault on Undertaker because he's a good wrestler and stuff. But what I'm saying is, like, you said there was going to be surprises. You said there was going to be... Wrestlepalooza was going to be the biggest thing. No, bro. It's not, dude. Triple H, all you did was give us commercials and all of that other stuff. But what I'm about to say right now is, finally we get a setup for Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. Part 3. The brawl at the end was intense. But, man... I'm going to be honest with you. Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. I already know who's going to win this. Because Cody Rhodes has beat Seth Rollins 3 times in a row. 3 times in a row. Cody Rhodes does not lose. Well, yeah, Cody Rhodes don't lose. They book him. He's the middest character in the whole series of wrestling. But, yeah. So I feel like they could do better with him. And his character, Seth Rollins in the Vision, that could be better. It's like Timu Bloodline 2.3, 4.0, something like that maybe. But what I gotta say to that is Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins at Crown Jewel. I'm happy to see if that happens. By the way, my Raw review is coming next, so which is supposed to drop today too. The Wrestlepalooza review was supposed to drop Saturday. but I didn't feel like making it. But yeah. But the video was entertaining. But let's wrap this up. So yeah, overall, this PPV had some bangers. The Usos Visions match, women's titles match, Cena and Lesnar for the non glass of value, but there was a way too much filter, way too many commercials, and not enough surprises. The ending was weak, but at least we got clear direction heading into Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes Part 3. Let me know in the comments, did you love it, hate it, or somewhere in between. Smash that like button. If you agree with me, hit the subscribe if you're ready for more rants. I'll catch you all in the next one.